It's the little things in life that make all the difference. As a busy stay-at-home mom, there isn't a whole lot of extra time, so the little things really matter. Sometimes just the tiniest shift can make our whole lives a whole lot easier. So after I had my second daughter, I was a mom at a 2 under 2, and I found myself constantly feeling rage, feeling frustrated, being short, even yelling at times at my kids. And I didn't want to be this way. Like, I really didn't. I honestly thought there was something wrong with me. And I was frustrated by it. And there were moments as I began my healing journey where I had the tools and I had the resources. Like, I had my rage calming tools, which if you want rage calming tools, I have 14 of them completely free. All you have to do is comment rage below and I will send them to you for free. But I found myself in that season struggling to even access those because I was so stressed out and my body was just in such a stressed state. And so that's really what these 3 tiny shifts are going to help you do, is to access those things that you really need to help you get out of stress and to make life a heck of a lot easier. So 3 tiny things that are going to help make motherhood so much easier. And the first one is going to be making 10-second eye contact with your kids. Just 10 seconds. It's not like you're playing together. It's not like you're doing anything crazy together, but just 10 seconds starts to lower stress and it starts to regulate the nervous system. And I'm pretty sure we all have an extra 10 seconds that we can give to each one of our kids, even if that means we have 5 kids, because that's 50 seconds. It's not a lot of time. So when I use this is when I start to notice my kids are getting a little rowdy. They're really trying to grab for my attention. And so what I'll do is I will say, call my oldest over and I'll be like, hey, you silly goose, and I'll be like, I want to see your pretty brown eyes. And what that does is it gets her to look at me and engage together. And then maybe I tell her a silly joke, or maybe I just tell her how much I love her, or I'll say, oh, you just make my heart so happy. And I needed you to know that. Maybe I'm just tickling her and being silly, and it's kind of this moment of reconnection without doing anything. And one huge aspect of connection is eye contact. And I think so many of us learned that as kids. I think most parents have told us, make eye contact with adults. It's at least my parents constantly did. And so it's like, we know that eye contact is important, but it's not easy because it's uncomfortable. It's vulnerable. And so if we can start taking these 10 little seconds to connect with our children, our life will be easier. And here's why: because our children are going to have a more easeful approach to things. They're not going to feel so frustrated. Their cups are going to be full of connection and they're going to have less issues. So in my mind, as a stay-at-home mom, I want to fill my kids' cups so that we can have an easier day. I think that ease is one of the most beautiful gifts we can give our home. I think it brings so much peace and calm, and we cannot have that if we don't have connection with our kids. So again, this isn't saying you have to sit there and play with your kids all day long, because that is hard. I'm currently in a season where I'm trying to fill my kids' cups more because there has been a lot of running around. We've been really busy. And so I'm kind of refilling their cups, so to speak. But yeah, just taking 10 quick seconds just to make that eye contact. Maybe you're making lunch and you sit them up on the counter next to you and you just talk with them or look at them or be silly with them and just make that eye contact. So just really, really simple. Nothing big, but it will really help the communication, the connection between you and your child. The next thing is the pause. It's so tiny. You've probably heard it before, but perfecting and learning how to pause is going to make your life 18 times simpler. Really, it will. One method that I love is from Mel Robbins, and it's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. Now, if you're sitting here going, oh my gosh, I'm way too stressed and I don't even know how I would pause. I have a podcast episode coming out where I talk about being stressed. And if you are watching this like after that has aired, I'll make sure to link it below. But yeah, learning how to pause is going to be your best friend, because here's what happens in this pause. So your child starts fighting with their sibling, and you pause, and they might just work it out, and you might not need to say anything. Your child hits you. You pause, you back up. You might have a different plan of action versus just yelling, right? If you pause, it gives your brain, it brings on that prefrontal cortex so you can start to access logic. Because what happens is we just are knee-jerk reactioning all day because we are constantly being thrown different things. And truthfully, by the end of the day, ask me how I know, I am just short and burnt out, and pausing is really hard. But if I start doing this in the morning, if I'm very intentional about pausing in the morning, and starts to bleed into the rest of my day. And then throughout the day, I'm pausing. And a lot of times I'm asking myself a question. Is this like something that's really necessary for me to get upset about? Is this something that is truly a problem? Is it something that's causing harm? Is it an emergency? Like, these are questions I'm asking myself to see how urgent the situation is. And without pausing, I can't do that. So it's really important to learn this pause. And if you're like, I can't pause, I don't know how to pause, I'm so stressed out. Like I said, there's a podcast episode that I'm going to be recording, and I will link it if it's already aired. But aside from that, it's learning how to notice your triggers. And that's a lot of what I do in coaching. I help moms to kind of walk through their triggers and then identify, oh, wait, that right there, that's what I'm doing. And that's what's causing me to blow up. That's what's causing me to yell. That's what's causing me to, ruin our day, because I didn't even notice that my thermometer was rising. It's starting to rise. I'm losing my crap. And I could have stopped it way back at the beginning when I just started to feel that little bubble up inside of me. And I didn't even know that was happening. So that's the really cool part about figuring out and doing that inner work within yourself, because you start to become really aware of everything that's going on within you, and then you can take actionable steps so you can make your day a heck of a lot easier, because you feel prepared, you feel confident, and you feel ready to handle all the challenges that are to come. So the next thing that I think every mom needs is a special box. I'm going to actually go through what's in our special box. A lot of this is just like stocking stuffers and things that the kids have gotten for Christmas, because it was just Christmas when I'm recording this. And so, yeah, I'll kind of show you what's in here, but I want to share when I use this. So I use this box when the kids are bored, when I'm on the phone and they're getting rowdy and I need to maybe make an appointment or something. I pull this out. If they're starting to seem like they're getting frustrated, they're just having a hard time, like that's the best way to describe it. Every kid's different. I'm going to take out this box and give them something to do to help kind of calm down their system, distract their system for a minute, and then we can sit down and kind of get to the root. But a lot of times my kids are in such a heightened state that they need a distraction. So yeah, I'll use it for that. But most of the time it's just like when they're bored, when they just having a hard time, I'm having a hard time, and I just need a minute to myself. That's when I take this out, give them something to do.
I'm pausing this video because if you struggle with anger or mom rage and are wanting tools that will actually help you to calm down, I have an 8-minute video where I walk you through 14 of my favorite tools that help me in my journey of mom rage. You can comment rage below and I'll send you the link to access it.
So that way I can get what I need to get done. And I just find it's just been so helpful. So anyway, I'll show you what's in here. I had already taken a couple things out. So I have a puzzle, some little lacing card things, another puzzle. And then I have like this little stick here. I really like this. I've had this for quite a while. I have 2 of these in there. They got these for Christmas from somebody. A bunch of different kind of sensory things, which these aren't really my favorite. I guess I'm not a sensory person. I don't know. I just think they're weird. A couple of these like sensory little string things. So some different sensory things. Also some balls, magnets, these little kaleidoscopes, which I think these are so cool. And then activity book, some stickers. These were some Christmas stickers they got. And then this here is like a bluey re-stickable book. But just to give them some activities, you could go to the dollar store and I just kind of pick this up throughout the year. A lot of this also goes into our church bag. So I kind of just like rotate things. But yeah, I find that this is so helpful in helping my kids to find calm, and to give me a minute when I'm feeling really overwhelmed and I need that minute. Sometimes dinner time was a really big struggle for a while. So I'd take this out right before dinner time to be able to finish cooking dinner before dad got home. So things weren't loud when my husband got home and we weren't all frustrated with each other. And yeah, it's just been really, really helpful.
Sometimes I think I just need to be more productive. If I did a better job meal prepping, or maybe I learned some cleaning hacks, then my life would be easier. Every time I do these things, they do help, but somehow I find something else to replace my time. When productivity is the goal, we aren't allowing space for life to unfold. We miss out on some of life's most precious moments. It's those giggles coming from the next room, their little hand holding on for dear life as we snuggle. Maybe it's the way they dance or the little smile that looks for you at the park. I found that when I search for the little things in my life, I'm much happier. I believe the only thing that'll actually make our lives easier as a stay-at-home mom is a secure attachment and attunement with our child. Anyhow, if you enjoyed this video, would you please give it a thumbs up? And if you want to receive more content like this, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and happy parenting.